I feel like none of this stuff makes sense, but I feel like it does. I'm just not phrasing it right. I'm sorry, I'm not an English major.
Yeah! Yep, that's me.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kenz here, and today is going to be a very interesting video. Basically, part one of this video is me prepping for going back to school during the spring semester of college, and then the second half of me is going to be doing a college week in my life and everything I've done the entire week with all my new classes. If you're new here, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. If you're old here, comment and like. I love you all. Let's just get on with this video. Okay, so the first part I'm going to be talking about is how I personally prepared for the first day of school and like the first week of college, starting back up on classes. And I made a list on my phone. I made a whole Google Docs. I got you all. I'm actually filming this the day before I start classes. I'm so nervous. I don't really know anyone who's in my elective classes. All my bio friends, they're all in my bio classes, so that's good. The first thing I suggest doing is making sure you're prepared to wake up for your morning classes. I know a lot of people have 8 a.m.s and 9 a.m.s. I know I do personally, and I can't. Bruh. And it's really hard to wake up in the morning, especially when you go to bed at like 3 a.m. during winter break like me, because I do that all the time. I suggest setting your alarm an hour before your class starts or 2 hours before. That way, by the time your class starts, your brain is just refreshed and ready to learn, especially during online school. If your classes are online and you're staring at a screen, it's so hard to pay attention. Tomorrow, I have my class at 9:30 a.m., but Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, I have it at 8 a.m. But then Tuesdays and Thursdays, I have 9:30. So it's really rough to wake up to. So I'm gonna set my alarm for 7 and actually go to on campus tomorrow because I have to get tested for COVID anyways because of track practice. So that's why I'm gonna wake up early. Also, I get really nervous when school starts because I don't know who's in all my classes, and I don't like starting new. So the next thing I suggest doing is most of your professors email you before your class starts. Unfortunately, this semester, only 2 of my professors have done that so far. They most likely send you the syllabus and everything that is coming up with your classes for the whole semester. What I like to do, and I suggest you do it too to make your life so much easier, is download all of the syllabi, is that the plural? Oh my god, I don't even know. So download all of them onto your computer or write them down in your calendar. That way you have all your exam dates and your homework assignments, like everything that's due, you have it set in your schedule so you can already plan the times to study for all of your classes. That way you're not stressed out. Trust me, you'll save yourself in the long run, especially if you do it now when you're not even starting classes yet, so you have nothing else to do. It helps you plan a study routine, mark your important dates down. I suggest having a planner, even if it's small. This one's mine. It's super small. My big sister from the sorority gave this to me. I think I said that before. I think I said it in the last video actually. I like just having everything down in one place. That way I know I can't forget anything. I also like making to-do lists for each day, so each of my assignments I can like highlight them with my markers. I don't know, it just looks pretty afterwards and you're like, yes, I did that. The next thing I suggest doing is declutter and organize your study space. So I know most of you guys are at home and you're not going on campus, or if you are on campus, some of your classes are in person, like you are just there in your dorm room, which sucks. And I know all my classes are online this semester, but I'm going to be doing a lot of my work in the library just because I personally don't have a desk in my room, and it was really hard doing my work on my bed. Like I was mostly scrolling through TikTok, and that's my fault. What I suggest doing is leaving out and having a study space in your room if you can, or just somewhere in your house, or in the library, in your dorm room, wherever you are. Just make sure you have a set space to do your work. That way you can train your brain to like focus on the tasks that you have to complete your assignments. That way you don't mess up and your grades aren't slipping. Get rid of old assignments that you know you're not using in the future for future classes. It's just annoying having like those papers. Recycle them and just declutter all the storage on your laptops and computers and all your devices. That way you can save space for your new assignments. I don't know if that makes sense. I think I explained that well enough. Also, I feel like I'm talking really fast. I am so sorry. The next thing I suggest doing is figuring out the best way you study. I know I personally have to handwrite all my notes. That is my thing. I think it's just a good way to memorize stuff. After I read the notes on the lecture, on the PowerPoint slides, I handwrite them. That way it reminds my brain that I need to know this information, and then I usually just memorize it like a script for theater. I know it's a weird method. That's how I do it. I break it up into sections. That way my brain doesn't feel overwhelmed, but that works for me. I kind of want to try going digitally just to save paper, but right now I'm trying to save save money. Use flashcards, put like the terms that you need to know. Use Quizlet as an online method to use flashcards, but just make sure you understand how you study and how you can memorize the things that you need for your classes before you start your classes. That way, if you do struggle in the class, you have time to experiment and find the best way to study. I feel like none of this stuff makes sense, but I feel like it does. I'm just not phrasing it right. I'm sorry, I'm not an English major. The next thing that I suggest you do, because most of us did have an online semester last fall and it was rough, like totally transitioning into that, I suggest making a list of positive and negatives of things that personally worked for you. That way you learn from the negatives and not to repeat them in the spring semester, but also the positives that worked for you, you can continue using in the spring semester. I'm staring at myself in the viewfinder. I'm sorry. I'm talking to you though. One of my main problems was I started procrastinating most of my assignments because even though I was given a due date and I knew I had all the time in the world to do it, now that all my classes are home, so I'd save money driving back and forth with gas and stuff. Besides my lab days, I procrastinated a lot. I submitted assignments minutes before it was due, and I knew like I had all the time in the world to do them. I'm gonna be working on that, staying off my phone during class. My preparations for exams, even though sometimes I did cram it in, I did make the time to study and actually learn the information, so I give myself credit for that. And the last thing that I just wanna let you guys know, something that really worked for me was I tend to get headaches a lot staring at a screen, and a lot of my classes are a good hour, over hour and a half, and then my lab days, especially the ones that were virtual and online, they were 3 hours long, and from doing that on top of the other hour classes, it hurt my eyes just staring at the screen and I got a lot of headaches. So I did buy some blue light glasses. You can't get them prescription because I really cannot see on my right eye. You can put your own prescription in. There's certain websites, a lot of them are really cheap too. Like when I don't forget to use my blue light glasses, I don't get headaches. Like it actually works. You can find cheap ones on Amazon for like 10 or 11 bucks, and a lot of people say that those work too. That's one of my big suggestions, especially during online school. So I hope that helps. I'm gonna be marking down all my important exam dates in my calendar pages for each month. Tomorrow's the big day. I'm very nervous. I only have one class tomorrow, but it just the thought of like driving up there, I just don't want to get back into it. I'm really scared. Hopefully I'll see you in part 2 if you continue watching. Okay, so for the results of my Instagram poll, if you guys don't follow me already, it's Kenzcanuel on Instagram. Follow it. You guys wanted to do 2 separate videos, so part 2 will be out tomorrow instead of after this video. Obviously that's why this video is so short, but yeah, so stick around for tomorrow to see my college week of my life. Make good choices, and I will see you next time. I hope you have a great day. Bye.